Hello there, folks. How you doing? All right, we are live. Okay, and we are back today talking a little bit more about MaM-a-Thon. Um, it, it just gets better and better. It does, in some ways that you might say, but so it's obviously we're going to be kicking off Friday night, as you guys, most of you know. What's wrong with my mouse today? But anyway, all right. So, but we're obviously we're gonna be starting it off at 9:30 Central for the United States. That breaks down to 7:30 Pacific. That breaks down to 10:30 Eastern is when it starts, and we're gonna be kicking it off. With me now at the beginning of my segment. Tracy Strunzi is going to come in for about 5 minutes to say a little something to you all, and then it's going to, basically start with me getting into basically what I have planned, what I plan to say. So there'll be a little bit at the beginning where Tracy will be talking to you guys. So then it'll get to me. Obviously, I have some things I want to say at the beginning. So I'll probably be talking for, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes after Tracy. And then I'll be introducing my clip of Steve Moore. And then so everybody gets to watch that. So that's what's going to happen. Now, here's something for you all to know now. So today, I've been working hard for the last week and a half, really, really, really trying to get a certain person on, an exoneree, someone you will all recognize, someone whose name you will all definitely recognize. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I have decided to keep it under wraps. You guys will have to tune in to find out who it is. But I will tell you what, folks, when I finally got the message, because I've been talking to this person now for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And when I finally got the confirmation that they would sit down and have a chat with me, I was over the moon. I mean, I was in the middle of cutting drywall on a pretty crappy day at the job in the sense of I was getting all dirty with drywall dust, and it wasn't as much fun as, wasn't really very fun. But in the midst of all that, I was able to check that message, and dude, I was just like, oh, I can't believe it. Because I honestly was worried. It's a big enough name that I was worried that they might, not want to come on. So I was over the moon when I got the response today. So, I'm pretty stoked. I'm a pretty happy camper. And, I mean, I've already managed to line up many great guests like Steve Moore, Dr. Silkman, Jeff and Zoe. Jeff, the dog handler, and his dog Zoe. McGilla and Rule. And then I'm going to have also Denise Rainey and Jamie on at the end of MaM-a-Thon to just, talk about good times and things in the past, and the cases and that sort of stuff, and to kind of wind MaM-a-Thon down on a bit of a reminiscent note. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm actually very, very happy though that I got that message today of the person telling me that they were willing to have a chat. And so I just, it's like, it didn't matter how covered I was in drywall dust. I felt like $1 million as soon as I read that. So it was awesome. I know it's going to be good for Stephen and Brendan, for this person, because their name is so well recognized. To have this person on MaM-a-Thon is just absolutely fantastic, and then we can talk about the other hosts like Johnny, who's going to be having, Aaron Moriarty and Trisha Bushnell, along with some others, some very, very astute supporters of Stephen and Brennan who are very knowledgeable about the case. So I'm excited about Johnny's segment, excited about Linda Kay's segment. Linda Kay is going to be having another group of some of the most knowledgeable supporters, some of the people that are just digging into this case, and they've been digging into it, and they work, digging into this case every day. Those types of people that are really, really getting familiar with the case. And so, Linda's going to be having a chat with all those folks. Andrew is going to be having a chat with his DNA guy, which I think is awesome because, Andrew has already been able to ask this gentleman, I believe it's a gentleman, some questions before for me and for himself and stuff like that. So, there's a schedule at MaM-a-Thon.org. So, so anyway, so Andrew's going to have that, his DNA guy, and a few other guys, Thomas Myrtle and stuff like that, I believe. So, and, Paul, obviously, Mr. Capaldi is going to be, he's going to have an array of guests, Fleetside being among them, which I'm excited about because, Fleetside's, he's pretty strong. He's another one who's really done the research in the case. And so he makes a lot of sense when he speaks. He's, awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. Who else we got? We got, Paul, and then we got Millbilly. Millbilly's going to have an interesting segment where he's going to be going over some new documents that none of y'all have seen. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have I always hold on there, folks. Let me pull this thing up again. Oh, I didn't save it. Oh, good. That's good. Hold on a second, folks. I'm going to pull up the schedule because it makes it a little easier. There it is. All right. So you can find it at right here, Larry. So that'll get you there, and then there it'll have a list of the hosts, Larry, and it'll also have a schedule all drawn out of who's live when. So, T, what's up, T1? How's it going, buddy? Hey, Jamie, how's it going, man? Hey, Justin. Hi, Jamie Van Hoop. Hi, Shuri. So, so like I said, and then, we've got Sharon Sunshine, who's obviously going to be having Dr. Sandra Lean on, which for those of you who have been following the Luke Mitchell case at all will know Dr. Sandra Lean. So I'm pretty excited to see Dr. Sandra Lean. Very excited about my good friend Sharon being involved this year as well. And then we got Jerome with the French Wrecking Crew, and he's going to be doing his thing over there. We all love Jerome. Jerome has always been a passionate supporter. Just great guy. And he's just been a lot of fun to be around, and he makes a contribution to the community. He's very, very, he's just got a lot of energy, and he's very vocal, and I like Jerome a lot. So he's over in Belgium, and so we do love not only to have new hosts this year, but to actually have more international guests. Hosts this year. So that's what, Jerome, Sharon, and Paul, obviously, Mr. Capaldi, bring to the equation, which is nice. So we actually have international hosts. So, anyways, all right. So, I forgot. One of the good things about today is I received this at the end of the day. So it's not Corona, Jamie. It's called For Locals by Locals, Tarantula Hill Brewing Company. Here, there you go. So no, not Corona, but here you go. So I'm gonna give it a try. Here we go. It's a big old can, I'll tell you what. I mean, look at, you guys can see how big my hand is, right? And my hand doesn't even fit around this thing. You see? So, I mean, it's a big old can. Hand over my man card now. Good. Ooh, it's got a little bit of orange to it. A little citrusy orange. It's good. So, all right. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. The host went out and did a good job this year, getting a lot of exciting content. And like I said, folks, you're gonna want to be there for my first segment. Number one, you want to see Steve Moore and all the things that he has to say on behalf of Brendan. Okay, you want to see that? It's good. And guarantee you I will be extracting the Steve Moore interview, and it will be getting tweeted to Governor Evers umpteen million times until Brendan's free. So I'll be doing that. But then after Steve Moore, I'm going to come in. I'm going to talk a little while, tease you a little bit, and then introduce the next guest, who you guys are all going to be. I feel most of you are going to be over the moon when you find out who it is. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and I'm very excited. I mean, I was excited yesterday, and now I'm even more excited. You know? I mean, it's just Larry, I believe something has been worked out. I've been seeing talk about it today, because this is one thing that's getting worked out still, and we're still figuring it out. But apparently there may be a way for people to be able to mail in money to Brendan's books, which will be not so much, it won't matter so much for the people in the US, but for the international crowd, it will allow people to donate to Stephen and Brendan directly to their books. Unfortunately, internationally, you can't do it online. It has to actually go through snail mail, unfortunately. But it is possible through snail mail. That's what we're looking at right now. So I'll give you guys more information on that tomorrow night. Obviously, I'll probably be going live again tomorrow night to give more information and try to give people an idea of what's going on. So a cherry on top of the can. Yeah, MaM-a-Thon fuel. There you go. Oh man, it's good. Oh, that orange is good. I like it. It comes through on the back of it. It's really nice. I like it. It's like when I drink diet soda that I hate, Diet Dr. Pepper or whatever, because when I drink it, the NutraSweet or whatever that they use, it will stick on the back of my tongue the way that this orange flavor, this kind of citrus flavor, is hanging on the back of my tongue. And that's why I hate diet soda. I don't mind this so much because I actually kind of am enjoying that citrus orange stuff going on. It's pretty nice. Anyway. Erekose is from Cali, not Wisconsin. He's just in training. What does that mean? Aspartame. Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm going to be up all night. Well, Larry, unfortunately for me, it's only 7:20 for me right now. So I got a couple hours before I go to bed. So, ooh, beer has something to say. Anyways, no, but I assume you're, Larry. I assume that you're central. So I would imagine it would be 9:20 for you right now. But yeah, the second time you taste it, not so nice. Give it about 6 of those. You'll see. Oh yeah. Well, maybe not. Well, hey, it has the charm of being the first time, right? There you go. So it's actually pretty good. I actually like it. I'll have to see if T1's right about the orange flavor, but it's a mimosa in a can. There you go. Hilarious. So, damn, AC's kicking ass over there. See my lights blink out? Jesus. All right. I remember my first beer. It's not my first beer, but it's the first time I'm having this beer that, anyway. Just to make that clear, for somebody with a ball gag, T1 sure has a hell of a lot to say. Let me tell you. Yeah. So, I like it. Good stuff. So, we're just to reiterate that though, we're still, fleshing all that out, but it looks like the international crowd will be able to get involved by being able to mail in and put money on Stephen and Brendan's books if they like. So that's what we're looking at. Oh, I'm looking forward to talking with Dr. Silkman. I actually have been on a video with Dr. Silkman before. I believe it was either on Rubber Ducky's channel or on Paul's channel. Can't remember which one, but I did get to talk and spend some time talking to Dr. Silkman once. And I've always wanted to talk to him again, and I know how passionate he is for Brendan. And so that's what him and I are going to be doing, because my entire first segment is really going to be Brendan. My final segment is going to be pretty much Steven. And I chose to break it up that way because I just wanted to pound. I wanted to open up MaM-a-Thon pounding on how obvious what they did to Brendan is. And once you realize how obvious that is and that they could do that, it's a very short jump to understanding how they did all the other things they did. So that's why I'll be starting out Brendan heavy on the Brendan. And like I said, I will be taking the Steve Moore interview, and I will be taking clips from the Steve Moore interview, and I will be relentlessly tweeting them at Governor Evers. Okay? So, I mean, it's I will be probably tweeting many parts of MaM-a-Thon to Governor Evers in the hopes that he watches maybe a handful of those clips and sees all the people out there, the real people in the world who are watching his state critically. So that's the idea. To keep the whole thing going, to keep talking about it, to keep the spotlight on there, to keep the pressure on there. We work in concert with the lawyers, folks. The lawyers are there putting the proper pressure on legally, doing the things they need to do legally, and the rest of us are out here making sure the public forum is putting the pressure on as well. They can't relax. So long as we're all doing our job, the bad guys here can't relax. And that's going to wear them down. Because they know KZ's in cart getting at him. They know Laura and Steve and Laura are fighting for Brendan. They're advocating for Brendan. And they know that most of the world thinks what they did to Brendan was complete horse shit. And they know that most of the world believes that. So they're worried. So it's up to us to keep talking about it, keep the pressure on. We work in concert with the lawyers, folks. It takes all of us. It takes the lawyers. It takes us. It takes it all together to keep that constant pressure and that white hot spotlight on that area so that they can't relax. No relaxing for them. You see. Okay, Ken Kratz probably finally realized he was better off if he shut the hell up. We're on KZ's team. There you go, Scott. Ernie Cowbell. Maybe one day that might happen. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe when we're at Raleigh one year. I don't know. We'll see, though. Yeah, after MaM-a-Thon, let's blow up the governor's Twitter with bits of MaM-a-Thon. You know what I mean? Clips from it. And just, you know, to where it's an avalanche. To where he's forced to look at least a handful of them. And once he looks at a handful of them and realizes what's going on out there in the world, and that he might just start to take the Brendan situation a bit more seriously, you know. So I hope so. So yeah, good suggestion, Larry. I'm all for it. So let's do that after MaM-a-Thon. So. So I tried last year to get the media to see last year how much money was raised for them, and they wanted nothing to do with it. Oh, they may not, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe things have changed this year. Maybe this year the climate is a little different. Maybe with COVID-19 and people sitting at home and the fact that streaming events like this online are becoming more and more popular, maybe we'll get a little love. You know, maybe. What can, you know, all you can do is hope, right? So, but in terms of making Governor Evers aware of the considerable opinions out there that are weighing in favor of Brendan, I think he should be aware of them. And I think it's a good idea to blow up his Twitter. After MaM-a-Thon, just blow up his Twitter with clips. Various clips from MaM-a-Thon that you guys all feel were particularly powerful. You know? So I would say let's do that. Yeah, Frack. Well, if he could probably help push it there that way. So like I said, these types of events are becoming more and more common. And so maybe if we're making enough noise this year, you know, maybe some media outlets will notice us and give us a little mention or whatever. You know, I mean, we're going to try to bring as much very, 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 you know, useful information this weekend. And you know, I know Tracy Strunsey, basically a lawyer. She's going to be talking to some exonerees Some people that have been exonerated. So she's going to be talking to them about their cases, and I would imagine getting into, where the criminal justice system goes wrong and that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's just going to be a lot of interesting content this weekend. I'm pretty excited. Like where I'm going with this, Scott. Hey, well, that's the idea, man. We want to keep the pressure on. We don't want to be doing stupid things like threatening anybody involved. We don't want to be doing stupid things like being hateful and doing things that could be used to make supporters look bad. But we definitely want to be proactive with getting useful information and facts and the truth out there. We're all day long. We should be holding our heads high and proud to put those things out there and put it right in the governor's face. You know what I mean? Put it right, in whoever, if whoever you may have a problem with this case, tweet it directly at them, message it directly to them somehow or whatever it takes. But just use facts, folks. Don't get into the name calling and the hateful stuff. No. Stick to the truth and the facts. It's pure. It's just a better way to go. Find out who the governor does business with, then put constant pressure on those people. And make them complain to the governor to make us leave them alone. They'll listen to their business partners. That's an interesting idea there, folks. It's a very interesting idea, actually. But then again, it has to be done in a classy way, folks. Classy way, because I wouldn't want those business associates of Governor Evers to be talking about how these really hateful people and vulgar, hateful people are saying all these nasty things to them. No, we want them to be going, these people are tweeting these very disturbing things to us that appear to be true. And we're concerned. We'd like that to be the kind of message that gets through to Governor Evers, not, there's all these assholes being jerks to me. You see, it's important how we want that message to get to Governor Evers, folks. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. Keep that in mind when you're messaging him, when you're tweeting him, when you're doing those things. Keep it in mind. We don't want supporters to have a bad reputation. We want supporters to be seen as reasonable people who have reasonable concerns and who are not getting any reasonable answers. That is what I want supporters. That is the image that I want supporters to have. Exactly that. My enemy's enemy is my friend. Yeah. Classy in the truth because we want the truth to come out. Absolutely. Wait, what? I have to come up with some great names for these clowns? Wait, what? Steven did not do it. Let them check out the trailer timing. Don't add up. Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't add up, and that's why we got to keep pointing them out. We just got to keep pointing out that there's a truckload of crap in this case that doesn't freaking line up and doesn't make sense. Yeah, those business associates of his, if people are just jerks and mean, those business associates are going to be telling him, there's these really jerky people. And he's going to be like, well, I certainly don't want to listen to a bunch of jerks who are vulgar and mean and whatever. He's certainly not going to want to listen to our opinions then, folks. That's why it's important that if you're tweeting them the truth, you're tweeting them honest things from the case files, things that you can prove where it's just like, no, this doesn't add up. And if you're tweeting things like that to them and they're coming to Governor Evers going, wow, we've got these people tweeting and sending us these things that are really, really trippy. They appear to be true, but it's disturbing if they are. That would be the way we want these business associates to approach Governor Evers. That would be more helpful, right? Because then Governor Evers has to think, whoa, my business associates are concerned about what they're seeing. And that will set off a red alert in his head. You see? That's the way it needs to be done. And I've been preaching this and preaching this and preaching this since October of 2018 when MAM-2 came out. And I'll continue to preach it and preach it and preach it. That's what we need to do, folks. Keep it classy. Keep it classy. You don't need anything else but all their wrongdoing in this. That's all you need. You don't need to be vulgar. You don't need to be mean. You don't need to do any of those things. All you have to do is use what's in the case documents against them the way it is. And use the truth and light. You know? That's the way to go, folks. Make classy, loud noise, and they will listen. Exactly. How's your Dodgers doing this year? Hey, all I know is Houston cheated in the World Series 2 years ago. So, you know, Travis Williamson has something to answer for because he lives in Texas. Anyway. Jamie wants all supporters to get glam shots. 80s hairband image is what we are going for. Crazy. So, all right. That's what we're looking at, folks. Remember, tune in for my first segment, folks. You're going to want to see who that guest is. I will say this. For those who are inclined and go and do a little bit of looking, you might be able to figure out who my surprise guest is. Oh, thank you so much, Big Steve-ish. How's it going, buddy? So for those who are astute enough, they could probably go through my social media and they might be able to figure out who it is. How a green vehicle ends up becoming blue. When what, Sapper? What are you referring to? I actually want to get a mask that has the Brendan Dassey thing, you know, the I Stand with Brendan Dassey. I actually want to get a mask. I might even take it to somebody to have them like actually embroider it. You know, or I might just find, you know, or I might just have a patch made. I don't know. We'll see. But I was wanting to get a patch or a mask that has the image of Brendan Dassey with the I Stand with Brendan Dassey around it. You know, I've been thinking about that, but I don't know who to ask to make it. I don't know who could make it, and I just haven't been able to get moving on that because I've also been so busy with planning MaM-a-Thon, you know, so. Oh, my special guest will be on. So let me go through my first segment again. First segment's going to start out. There's going to be about a 5-minute thing with Tracy. Tracy Strunzi has something she wants to say to all of you. And so we're going to start out with about a 5-minute segment from Tracy. Then after that, it's going to be me, you know. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a little, I'm going to have all the new hosts on. And we're going to spend maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes talking with all of the new hosts and introducing them. The ones that can make it. Some of them may be working and may not be able to, you know, do it. But for all the ones that can, we're going to do a little, you know, new host introduction period or whatever. Then after that, I'm going to clear the studio again. And then I'm going to do a little bit of an intro for my Steve Moore segment. And then I'll introduce Steve Moore, and then I'll go into the pre-recorded interview I did with Steve Moore, and you guys will be able to watch that. Then after the Steve Moore segment, I will come back in. I will talk to you guys for a little while. I'll be teasing you and jerking your chain and all that sort of stuff, teasing you about who the next guest is, and I'll be, having fun with it. So sorry in advance, but I will be. And then I will reveal who the guest is, and I will play the clip for you at that point. So after that clip, I will come back, and then it will be moving into Dr. Silkman and I chatting about Brendan and that sort of stuff. So, and I may end up adding something else in. So in between my special surprise guest and Dr. Silkman, I may put something else in between there as well. So that's, but that's basically what it's looking like. Let's not do armbands. See, then the Wi-Fi will drop out. It will be starting Friday at 9:30 Central, Scott. 9:30 Central. So that's what we're looking at, folks. I will be probably checking back in with you guys tomorrow to give you guys probably one more update before MaM-a-Thon. And, to anything that comes up tomorrow, hopefully a little bit more information about certain things. So we'll see. Because like I said, we are still fleshing out some things and everything. So there may be another further update tomorrow that I may get, or at least I'll just get on here just so we can all get together and have a little bit of fun and talk, right? So be looking for me tomorrow. Most likely not going to be early in the day. This week has been nuts. The 1 week that I would have needed to be light, because the last 4 weeks were light, it would have been ideal if this week was light. No, it's not. It's heavy. I'm like, we're working. It's every day, and I'm like, ugh. It would have been nice if one of the last 4 weeks, if I could have switched this week with one of the last 4 weeks, it would have been awesome. Anyway, so I'm up against it, but I'm happy. I'm happy and excited, especially about my special guest confirming today. So stoked about it, I did not say fleshlighting. I said fleshing out. Fleshing out. Look it up, Jamie. East Coast time, it'll start at 10:30. Big Stevish. So that will be 10:30 Eastern, it will start. So, all right, folks, be looking for tomorrow. There may be one further update tomorrow. It's looking like a pretty exciting MaM-a-Thon, so I'm pretty excited about it. Hope you guys all are. Be ready, be there. As I said, I'll say the times again. 7:30 starts at 7:30 Pacific for those on the West Coast. 9:30 Central for those in the Midwest or in Middle America, and then 10:30 for the East Coast. Okay, 10:30 start for the East Coast. So that's what we're looking at, folks. Hope you guys, hope to see you guys all there. And it's looking like it's going to be a fun event. So pretty excited. Can't wait for it to get here, and all that. So the Hod will be on MaM-a-Thon. He is a scheduled guest in MaM-a-Thon. That's all I'm going to say. He is a scheduled guest. So, all right, guys, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you.